So you've been going to the gym for years and you still look the same. You still look average. You still do not have a six pack. You have not lost weight. You've been stuck at that number for a long time. You feel like you've plateaued. Have you ever thought to ask yourself why that is the case? Right now, you're going to the gym, you're on point, you're not skipping your training days, you're eating the right foods. On the weekends, you take a day off, you go out with the guys, you have a beer or two, you're at family parties, you're drinking with them, you're cooking your steak and your butters, and your all these oils, right? Olive oils, not tracking your macros, not tracking your calories. You're eating your protein bars, you're drinking your protein powders, and yet you're still not losing weight, you're still not getting stronger in the gym. You're doing your sit-ups, you're doing your crunches, you're doing your ab workouts. You're getting the double protein bowl at Chipotle, right? You're getting your grilled chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A, thinking that you're doing something. You're fasting in the mornings, not eating until noonish, until lunchtime, thinking that you're losing weight, but in reality you're not. What if I told you that you can get a six pack without doing any ab workouts? Would you believe me? Because that was the case for me. I was able to attain that. I was able to attain a six pack without doing a single ab exercise throughout my transformation. I didn't start doing ab workouts until the end of my cut. But during the cut, during the process, I did zero ab work, zero direct ab work. I know how frustrating it feels. I also was stuck with a big gut and did not know what to do in order to lose the belly fat, to lose the stubborn fat around my waist in order to reveal my six pack. You feel like you're gonna look like this forever, right? You might be thinking, damn, I'm gonna be a size 38 waist size for the rest of my life. There's no way I'm gonna get abs. Everything I do, no matter what I do, nothing is working, right? I'm listening to this person's advice, my body's not changing. I'm listening to this person's advice, and my body still looks the same. The number on the scale is not going down. You feel like you're never gonna attract the type of girl that you want. You feel like you're never gonna attract the baddest girl. You hate taking off your shirt when you're at the pool parties or when you go to the beach. Or you feel ashamed of the body, even though you put in the work. You're giving it your all in the gym, and yet you're still not happy with the way you look. You still do not have the head turning aesthetic physique that we all want. You keep telling yourself, eventually my body will transform. Eventually I'm going to get stronger and I'm going to get leaner. I'm going to look better. No, bro, that's not the case. You're not going to get better. What you need and what you are lacking is a strategy. You're not following a plan. Okay, you're not getting 1% better each day because you're not following a plan, a proven plan at that. Let me ask you this, bro. When was the last time that you actually tracked your meals or your macros? Let's say right now you are tracking your macros. Are you tracking every single day? Are you tracking 100% of the time everything that you're consuming? Can you give me a yes, a clear yes on that? More than likely, the answer is no, right? You're not being consistent. You're slacking off on the weekends. You're slacking off on Sundays when you're out with your wife or when you're with your kids or when you're out with the guys. So, no, you're not being consistent. That's why you're not going anywhere. That's why you're not progressing because you don't have a plan that you're following 100% to the T. You know what I used to believe, bro? You know what actually changed my lifestyle and changed my mindset, which eventually changed my physique? Before, I used to think tracking macros and tracking my foods, tracking my meals was impossible with the routine that I had. I was like, bro, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not, I don't have the leverage. I don't have the freedom of time as much as other people who are able to actually track their macros, right? I used to think that I'm working a 9 to 5 job. I got my little brother who has autism spectrum disorder who I have to take care of, who I have to be there for him and give him my time and energy and attention to. I have to be there for my family. You might feel like you have to be there for your kids, right? They need your attention, of course. They need your energy. They need your father figureness. I used to think that other people had it easier than me. I used to think that with my routine and my schedule and my commitments that there was no way I was able to track every single day for a long period of time in order for me to get shredded. Until one day I finally was able to do it. And nothing changed. Nothing changed when it came to my commitments or to my routine, right? All it was a mindset shift. It took one person to tell me, bro, it's not the vacation trips. It's not the girl that you're talking to. It's not whatever it is that you think is what's holding you back. Those are just excuses. You have to realize this, that it took me that mindset shift to then be able to then track my macros and log everything when it comes to what it was that I was eating. I was able to track my macros, bro, every single day to the T. During work, because I would work in office, I would literally log my food. And then when I was working from home, since I worked hybrid, I would literally take my breaks and then cook my meals right then and there and then log my foods. As simple as that, every single day, like clockwork. I ate like it was my job. I followed my meal plan like it was my job. So that's the mindset shift that you need. That's why your physique still looks the same and why you still look average, because you have that average mindset. Take that mental shift and apply it to your life. Another reason why you're unable to stick to a plan is because you're following too many people's advice. You're watching too many fitness influencers' videos. You're gonna hear one person say, "Oh, get this protein hack at Panda Express. Get this grilled teriyaki chicken, with the white rice and the veggies." And then you're gonna see somebody else who says, "Fast in the mornings. Don't you have to intermittent fast, right? You have to skip your breakfast, eat your start eating your meals during lunchtime." And then this person is going to tell you the 5 best ab workouts that you need to do in order for your abs to show. And then you're going to start doing those abs. You're going to start listening to everybody, and you're not going to move the needle because you're listening to too many people's advice. You just need to stick to one person's advice and make sure it's someone who has gotten the results that you want, right? All these influencers, a lot of them already have the physique that you want, and they're able to eat that way. They're able to slack off because they're already there. It's easier to maintain a physique than it is to transform a physique. But if you're transforming a physique, like how I was when I was overweight and I had a big gut and everything, I didn't do that. I did not eat out. I did not log my food. I tracked everything to the T and I hit all my workouts to a T, right? I could not afford to slip up because I wasn't there yet when it came to physique. That's why you get analysis paralysis, because there's so much information out there, so much wrong information. And even though it's right to a certain degree, it's not the whole truth of what it is that all these people are telling you. So stick to one plan, right? Google a workout plan that you can follow that fits your availability during the week for you to be able to hit the gym, whether it's 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever. It doesn't matter what split you're doing. Make sure it's a strength training split, and then follow a meal plan, right? Count your macros, track everything on a macro tracking app like MyFitnessPal, but do it every single day. The weekends count as well. Don't think that Sundays do not count, or one day out of the 7 days out of the week is not going to make a difference, because it will, especially if you're transforming your physique. I didn't do none of those tips and tricks from those fitness influencers. I did not do no 10,000 steps per day. I didn't do no freaking intermittent fasting and skipping all my meals in the morning and starving myself to death. I didn't do freaking endless cardio. I wasn't doing 1,000 different ab workouts, right? I went from being overweight and ugly and having low confidence and putting up with a girl at the time, matter of fact, who would tell me no all the time, who would ghost me and cut me off here and then every time she would get upset for something that I didn't even do, that wasn't even worth getting upset over for and ghosting me for, right? I dealt with that and put up with that and then finally transformed my physique. I got shredded, I got lean, and now I don't deal with women like that no more. And then when I posted a pic of my abs on my Instagram story and she saw that, she reached back out to me talking about, "I miss you," and sent me a whole long paragraph. And now I'm over here catching ass left and right every time I go out to the clubs, right? Because I worked on myself. I put in the time to work on myself and do everything to a T without making any excuses for myself. I didn't freaking go out on the weekends with the guys. I didn't freaking, like I said, do all these fitness tips and tricks. I stuck to a plan and followed it down to the T. And guess what? I got better every single day, 1% better every single day, until eventually I got lean, I got shredded, I got the abs. That's why a lot of people don't transform their physiques. They lack structure and they lack following a plan. You're gonna see in a few months from now, because I'm actually cutting at this very day. I'm actually starting my cut. You're gonna see how I'm gonna get abs again, visible abs again, right? Because I was bulking. But you're gonna see how I'm gonna lean out and then get abs again. And a lot of people in the gym, 99% of the people in the gym right now are still gonna look the same because they're not following a plan. They're going in there and just freaking wasting time. They're not moving the needle when it comes to their physique. or they're not getting their money's worth when it comes to the gym because they have the lazy mentality, they have a lazy mindset. Make that mindset shift. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, whatever routine you have, you got to pick up the kids from school, you got to freaking stay late at work, you can still get in your workouts and still get in your meals every single day. But don't make no excuses. It wasn't until I changed my mindset and said, I'm not going to make no more excuses. I'm going to not cut corners no more. I'm going to follow everything to a T, to where I finally was able to transform my physique for the better.